Hello, this is Colfina. I'm in our Bringolod Discord server. I'm just standing in the middle of the city of Castleton, and I wanted to show you guys a few interesting spots that are underway in our server. Not only that, I want to demonstrate a feature that will be available to people who log in, and that will be the ability to use the warp command. So I'm currently in the village of Castleton. Walking is slow. I don't love walking in the server, especially if I'm going to have to try and leave the city to go farm for resources. Ugh, that would be awful. But we have built into the server and configured it so that people who are not administrators will still be able to warp and travel a little bit easier across the server because, Texas is big. And if y'all are competing in our month-long building competition or in our day of building competitions, you may not want to have to cross the entire length of the city every time you need a tree log. So I have pressed the T button. I'm sitting here looking at my text window. I could type ASDF if I want. It's not going to like that. But what I have done is typed / and I'm going to type WARPS. Warps is a command that allows you to list all of the warps available to you. Now, this list of warps is a little bit longer than the one that you'll see. I have more warps available to me because I have different privileges than you have when you log in. The 4 that I want to point out, though, are BG City. This is Bringolod City. BG Keep, Castleton, and Resources. These are 4 warp points that should be available to you and will make it hopefully easier for you to go to and from the city when you need to get resources on the server. Or if you're just traveling around and you get really, really lost, this is an easy way to come back to a recognizable place. So we're going to start with BG City. So this should take me, oops, let's put the warp in front of there. Warp. So I'm going to warp to BG City. This should take me right up to the project board at the edge of Bringolod City. And there we are. So I am now at DePisa Boulevard looking down the street. I'm facing north. If I turn around there, I can see that project board, and then the village of Castleton is there behind me. Awesome. Let's try the next one. I want to warp to BG Keep because walking across the city takes a while. Boop. I do that. There we are. I'm standing facing west at our Bringolod Keep. If I turn, there's the northern exit to the city. We can see our monastery and hospital area. And then if I were to go south, I can get out of town that way. Cool. Next thing I want to do, I'm going to warp to Castleton. I traveled around a fair amount. I would like to get back to where I started. Warp to Castleton. It does make a water splash when you come in. That's just a feature of it loading in above water. But don't be worried. When you use the warp command, it will always try to put you at the nearest safe location to where you're trying to warp to. And here I'm standing on the very edge of the dock, which is a pretty amazing view, if I do say so. The last warp point I want to point out, warp, is resources. What are resources? What is the resource location? This is a place where you can farm. Now, if a lot of people are using this warp point, it's very likely that the immediate area here may get farmed out very quickly. That's likely to happen, but what this does is get you out and away from the city so you can tootle off, farm the resources you want, and then when your inventory is full or when you're ready to go back, you can always type warp, Castleton, or BG City, BG Keep to get back to the city grounds. So I just warped to Castleton. There's that little water splash again. It's totally okay. So that's what I wanted to show you. And just for orientation, so you can see we've got our Lake Travis turtles lounging about. And if I walk over here, I'm going just past the lighthouse, and then eventually I will get right into the village of Castleton again. Awesome. So that's all about warping.